Welcome to the Star Wars Dark Forces Remaster Mission 8, Ice Station Beta, aka the Robotics Construction Facility. I'll be showing you all of the objectives and secrets in this level. The first one is accessed by hopping down onto this ledge and going into a cave over here. I'll be playing on easy for the sake of creating a smooth walkthrough. Bear in mind that there will be more enemies and some of the items may be different if you're playing on a harder difficulty. This walkthrough can be used for the original Dark Forces as well, which has been very faithfully recreated in this remaster, including the fact that the map for this cave looks like a character from another LucasArts game. LucasArts being the original developer of Dark Forces and Sam and Max being that game. This mission introduces ice physics, which you encounter when you're on this type of floor, but don't blink or you'll miss it, because we're going to get an item right away that makes it so we don't have to deal with ice physics at all. We're going to make our way around this side of the facility. We're taking the long way around because, well, we first of all need to get that item that I mentioned, but secondly, we also want to grab a couple of secrets that are in this direction. You gotta be careful here because what we want to grab is on basically this shelf on this cliff face here. It's the ice cleats. Now you don't slip on ice anymore, but it's very easy to accidentally slip and fall into that chasm while you're trying to grab the ice cleats. So be careful of that. And here's a fun fact. The place where the ice cleats were located there is the top of a path that's actually the exit path out of the facility, so if you didn't know where they were, you might have encountered the ice cleats on your way out of the facility after climbing an icy staircase and dying many times to it. I can envision the developers having a good laugh over that. The second secret is right over here, just a small area you can crouch to get into, hidden along the side of the building. That guy that's shooting at me is up inside the facility, so we're going to ignore that for now, but if you come down through here, this is where you'll find your third and fourth secrets. You have to crouch to get through these openings, so I just stay in a crouch. Now, you're in one of two parallel corridors that are connected by that little passageway. But if you come all the way to the end here, this is one of the secrets, a bunch of items you can get. We're going to start heading back through the second one now. And once you get to this area where these pickups are, you should be at 44% secrets overall, because you'll have gotten 2 secrets in this area with the corridors that you have to crouch through. Now, if you play this on hard difficulty, there are turrets in these corridors, and they're way up high where they're hard to hit, so be careful of that. You may want to just run through rather than trying to take out the turrets. If you're moving against the current, jumping can help you move through the flowing water. Behind this waterfall is not a secret, it is actually the path we need to travel in order to get into the robotics facility. Follow the stream around. There's going to be a ledge out this way that has a key on it that you need. There are enemies here on hard difficulty, and if you don't have the ice cleats, it's very easy to slide around. Now, you could jump from here onto that conveyor belt. That's what takes you into the facility. I'm going to show you the quote-unquote correct path, but first we have to deal with some enemies, and this is also the path you'll need to take if you miss the jump and fall down. You don't have to go all the way back around and through the waterfall and all that. There's a door over here. But first I need to just punch this guy out because I really just don't like that guy. I don't know why, I just don't. This is the door that opens with the key that we got, and now we're on those conveyor belts that are going to take us into the facility. Now, this is pretty easy and straightforward when you're on easy difficulty. There's a few enemies along the sides that are going to try to shoot at you. Of course, on harder difficulties, they add enemies, and they also add turrets that you need to watch out for. If we're dealing with turrets, I actually like to use proximity mines. You can put them down on the conveyor belt, and then if you jump backwards, you can sort of hop in place, and the mine will carry on down the conveyor belt, and when it gets close to the turret, it'll trigger and explode. This is your 5th secret in here. It can be tricky to jump in through this window. You need to crouch to jump through there. This is really uneventful playing this on easy. I've just realized more recently I've played it on hard difficulty where there are turrets in here and all kinds of other enemies. Shooting the switch through this window here opens this door, and then making it all the way to the end of the conveyor belt here, for some reason, counts as your 6th secret. You can see we were at 55% there. As soon as we step through the door, we're at 66%. Very strange how that was set up. This doesn't appear to be any kind of a secret area. It looks like you could have taken a shortcut through that window. but it's still just, I don't know, it's very odd. Usually that last stormtrooper that we saw is somewhere in this area. Just be aware of that. This door opens automatically, and as soon as it does, that crusher comes down, so you want to get through as fast as you can. Then we'll just make some hops across this disgusting looking soup. It does damage to you, but relatively minor. It's not like an instant kill or anything like that, but you want to stay out of it as much as possible. More conveyor belt, more crushers, more spaces and rooms where there are a lot more enemies and turrets if you're playing on harder difficulty. I have been recording a playthrough on hard difficulty showing all secrets as well. My intention there is to put the entire game in one video, a full playthrough on hard difficulty showing all secrets. It won't have commentary like this one, it'll be more of an addendum to this walkthrough showing how you can complete all these areas on hard difficulty. That switch opens the way forward. Through here is the next secret. The 7th one, so you should be at 77% now. If you crouch on this hologram pad, you can just walk through the window without having to jump. Some guys in there, I like to take them out with an explosive because they're completely oblivious. Now, this can be a little tricky. You need to crouch, run, and jump to get through this window. The officer in here drops a key. Back over here, you can find secret number 8. It's not very secret. It's just a door to open along the path that you need to go through. You'll want to flip this switch. I'll explain what that does in a minute. And then carry on through here to get to your final destination. That beeping sound just means my shield supercharge is about to wear off. The switch in this room opens a panel in the wall out here. Short little dark area, then there's another switch you need to open more wall panels over here. And then you need to hit that switch to stop this big fan so you can safely jump down through this passage. Now, this fall will damage you. There's a revive at the bottom, but I have died to that before because I fell too far away from the revive or died before I could pick up the revive or something. If you're low on health, aim to fall through the center of that shaft so that you land right on the revive and then you'll be okay. This area has a 3-pronged shape. In each of those prongs is a place where you need to plant a charge. You just saw me do the first one there. You also just saw me pick up a gas mask. Now, if we had not flipped that switch that I pointed out earlier and said I'd explain what it did later, well, that turns on the central fan in this room and clears out the poisonous gas that would be in here if I hadn't flipped that switch. If you don't do that, you'll need the gas mask to survive in here. I'm going to pause here and plant some mines because this wall is about to open up and release a Dark Trooper. I used the wrong button and accidentally set down a timed mine instead of a proximity mine. So I'm going to set down these proximity mines, then jump over here and plant the final charge, and then I'm going to accidentally trigger one of my own mines, but that's okay. The rest remain to help deal with that Dark Trooper. It doesn't matter which order you do the charges in. The Dark Trooper will appear wherever you plant the final charge. I don't actually know if it's necessary to defeat the Dark Trooper or not, but you can get some plasma cartridges from them, which will be useful for a weapon we'll be getting later. You may or may not have to defeat the Dark Trooper before this will open up. I actually don't know. There's a hidden compartment in this wall that only opens up after you progress a little farther. I think it opens up after you open the next door. And there's a Dark Trooper endoskeleton inside. I happen to have a weapon supercharge here, so that really helps. And this is your 9th secret inside that little compartment. There are more Dark Trooper endoskeletons on harder difficulty, but if you carry on in this direction, this will lead you to the exit, and that icy staircase that I told you about, that you have to run and jump across here to get to, and this could be a relatively easy climb because we do have the ice cleats. If you don't have the ice cleats, you see the trouble I'm already having with it, you're going to have even more trouble, and that was me just showing that we have 100% secrets because we got that secret compartment, which, like I said, you can't open it manually. It appears to open once you progress down the hallway and open the next door, and then you can backtrack a bit and get what's in that compartment. And we're just making our way back to where we started the mission. We're going to meet our good friend Jan and our faithful ship. And that's it for this mission. It's pretty straightforward once you know where you're actually supposed to go. Hope you enjoyed this, found it helpful. I will see you in the next one. Before you go, why not check out some of the other entertaining and enriching gaming content we have here at the Triple S League, like Maximum News, our weekly gaming news podcast hosted by Max Darrett. You'll also find comedy, reviews, and lore videos, and the description has links to our other channels, like Scenometry, where I humorously overthink TV and movies.